and welcome to my Daily Cup of Yoga series. Today we're gonna work a bit on hamstrings. Basically this video is made for people with very tight hamstrings, so we will adjust our practice to that and we will work to actually stretch and feel our hamstrings a little bit, and it's a practice that you can do if you have tight hamstrings and you want to work on that. You can do it once or twice a week. It will really improve your flexibility. We will start, and just before I start, I'll try to avoid any kind of equipment, so you can do this at any time. I do have one block. You might not need to do it, so to use it, so I will not use any straps, so it's accessible to everyone. So let's start. We will start laying on our back with a bit of dynamic stretches of our hamstrings. So we'll start with placing our left ankle above the right knee, and then holding our right leg underneath the knee. So here we are stretching our kind of this is a seated pigeon pose. So we are moving that left knee away from us, and then now with our dynamic stretch, we're going to start strengthening our right leg up and back. So with these dynamic movements, we can go a little bit further than we would if it's static. So if you have tight hamstring, you're probably somewhere here, and it's hard to even be here. So with our dynamic movements, we can go a little bit deeper into our muscles. Today we're going to do a mix of dynamic and static stretches. It should really improve your flexibility. And releasing down, I will change sides. So we're placing our right leg on the top of the left and holding under the knee. Again, this right knee, you want to kind of push it all the time towards the back of the room. And again, preparing for these dynamic movements. It's a bit easier when you hold your leg like this. But for me, I could go a little bit deeper than usual. And releasing down, this time hug both knees into your chest, and then hold the inside of the knees. And again, we'll do the same movement with both legs at the same time. Again, this might be able to do a little bit deeper than normally with dynamic movements. Important thing is here, when you build your muscles, so with the strong abs and strong legs, you can actually work towards your hamstring stretches. And now roll a bit onto your back to come to seated. Now straight away we'll go into our forward fold. I'm sure it's your favorite pose, the thigh hamstrings. For me, I always felt so awkward on it, so today we're going to do a little bit easier version that's suitable for tight hamstrings. So no straight legs. Straight away we're starting with bent knees and finding our sharp edges of our sitting bones. So you want to really feel, so even if you want, you can kind of take the flesh out and to really feel the sharp edges of your sitting bones, and that way we engage our legs and our belly, and then kind of pressing our lower back forward to meet with the belly button and thighs. Kind of, we want to be somewhere here. Even if the knees need to go up, it doesn't matter. You really want to feel kind of correct alignment, and then we can work towards going deeper. Releasing down, rest for a moment, and now try to kind of go a little bit lower with your knees, and again doing the same action. So as you inhale, you reach through the crown of your head, and then kind of moving forward with your lower back, pressing your lower back into the belly and moving forward from there, rather than going anywhere like you're bending your upper back. So really want to move your lower back forward and feeling those sharp edges. And then if you manage to catch your feet or your ankles, maybe then try and see if you can move your legs a little bit down. This is an intense pose, so don't try to go too deep too fast. We're gonna do a lot of stretching today, so this is just warm up to see where we are, and maybe then you can compare it at the end of the practice. And releasing down. Now from here we're gonna move into our all fours just to kind of set the base to move into our next pose, which is downward facing dog. So you want to press your hands evenly into the ground, and now tuck your toes under, and pressing in your arms, lift your hips up high and send them back. So here, if you have tight hamstrings, you want to bend so your heels will be up, and you want to bend your knees. So you want to have straight line from your hips, your shoulders, all the way to your palms. So if it feels too awkward, try walking, kind of bending one knee, bending another knee, straightening one leg at a time, and that really also goes into those hamstrings. Might feel good. Moving the hips from side to side. It should feel less awkward with the movement. Then if you're ready, if you want, you can try steady version just to see where you are. Again, keep the bend in the knees so you're not rounding your lower back. And again, this is active pose, so you're engaging your belly and you're engaging your legs. This is just inverted version of the seat we just had in that forward fold. So you want to move your belly towards your thighs. And now looking ahead of you, step both feet forward, keeping your knees bent so you can reach the floor with your hands. And then hug your elbows and allow all of your upper body and your neck, your head to hang from the hips. Keeping your legs active and your knees bent, and pressing evenly into the floor through the soles of your feet. You can do a little yes and no with your hand, just to make sure that all upper body is relaxed. Again, it's always easier with a little bit of movement, so you can try to move to the left and to the right. Stretching your waist, just to forget about the legs for a little while. And now slowly pressing into those feet and coming up halfway till your back is straight. You can rest your hands on your thighs or on your shins. Finding your flat back, again engaging all the muscles in your legs, kind of squeezing your sitting bones together. And then from here, come all the way up. Now I'll do a few sun salutations to warm up, and also to use them for dynamic stretches as well. So let's start. Inhaling, reaching with your hands up. Exhaling, hinging from the hips, bend the knees and fall all the way down. Inhale to halfway, like we just did. Exhale down again, this time step back, both feet, and find your plank. From plank, come all the way down, onto the belly. Now as you inhale, lift your chest for cobra. Now exhale, press into your hands and your feet, and find your downward facing dog again. We'll just run through it, I'm not gonna torture you. Now look ahead of you and step both feet forward into your forward fold with your bent knees. And then again, inhale with straight back, exhale, fold, and inhale, come all the way up with your hands overhead, exhale, hands to heart center. We're gonna do two more. Inhale, reach up, exhale, fold. Inhale, straight back, exhale, plank pose. From plank, exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, cobra, lift your heart up. Exhale, downwards facing. Inhale, come forward. Find your flat back. Exhale, fold. And inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, fold and step back into plank. Lower down on your knees, on your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing. This time stay here for a while. Just notice the difference from your first down dog to this one. If you need to move, move again. If not, try to find your stable variation. See if you can maybe move your belly towards the thighs a little bit more. Maybe knees, heels can come towards the mat a little bit closer than they were. Then looking ahead of you, stepping both feet forward and slowly coming up to standing. Now we're going to move into our next pose as we're a bit warmed up now, which is warrior one. So stepping our right foot behind you. So your back foot is about 45 degrees and your heel, both heels are grounded. Now looking forward and moving our hips forward. We're bending our front knee to come over the ankle for our warrior one. Now here, you really want to feel nice stretch in your back leg. So if there's not enough stretch, you might want to do a wider stance. And another thing is, naturally your hips will want to face to the side and you want to actually move them forward. That way you feel more stretch in your hip flexor of your right foot. Beautiful. Maybe you can think a little deeper. This way, like now at this stage, I really do feel that my calf is stretching and my hip flexor. If you're not feeling it yet, maybe you need to turn a bit more forward, or your stance might need to be longer, or maybe you're not aware that your knee is, maybe your knee is somewhere here instead of over the ankle. So just check these few points. And now we'll lift our back heel to find our lunge, sinking into those hips and lower onto your back knee here. And now we're going to move our hips back to straighten the front leg for our nice hamstring stretch. So what's important here is to actually engage this leg, front leg, and curl your toes towards your chest, so that will activate the leg. And then here again, as you straighten up, again, you like in the beginning of the practice, you want to move with that lower back. So move with the lower back as much as it's comfortable. When you feel nice stretch in your hamstring, then you can roll in your upper back forward. So this is a static stretch. So every time you hold the stretch for like 5 breaths, that's the point where you can actually go a little bit deeper after that. And also there is a trick here. When you engage your quadriceps, you can allow your hamstring to stretch a little bit deeper. So when you're engaging the opposite muscle, that means that the back muscle has to stretch for this one to engage. So they work together and that can help your stretch here. So it is really important to engage the leg. Now moving into dynamic stretch, we'll move forward into the hips and then back into the hamstring again. Just walking our hands forward and back. I really like this one. I really feel the hamstring in it. Beautiful. Now staying forward here and then moving that foot back into plank and up into downward facing dog. To come forward, look between your hands and step both feet. Then curl all the way up. Now taking it to the other side, step your left foot back for warrior one. Again, finding your stance, your perfect width. Now back leg is 45 degrees. Turn your hips forward and bend that front knee to come over the ankle. Again, if there's not enough stretch, move the change, see what needs to change, and again, be aware of those hips. You want that steering action, your back hip moving forward, your front hip moving back, to really go into that hip and feel nice stretch. If you want, you can add the arms up or keep them at the heart center. Now moving into lunge, bringing our heel up, sinking a little deeper, and then come onto that back knee for our hamstring stretch, straightening the front leg, and again, really engaging the leg, curling the toes in, and again, straightening up, and just finding our correct alignment, so hips are level and we are moving with our lower back forward, and then rounding up the upper back. So try to keep at least 5 breaths and engage the quadriceps. And moving into dynamic stretch, walking the hands forward and back. Last time, staying at the front, this time moving to plank and come all the way down onto your belly. Just to reverse all these forward folds, or do a small back bend. So place your hands close by your hips, and we're going to move into lotus pose. So we're going to lift our feet and chest on the inhale. Inhale, reach up. Stay here for 3 breaths. One last one. And releasing down. Now press onto your palms and your toes. And come back up into our downward facing dog, bringing the hips up and back. And again, I hope it's less awkward and feels more natural now. Now from here, we're gonna step our right foot forward and come up. So now we're gonna do something that you might need your block, you might want your block or not. I'll show you variation with the block. So the same as we did for warrior 1, you're about 45 degrees, but the stance is way shorter now, and your front foot is straight. So from here, we are facing with the hips forward, engaging the front leg, so there's micro bend in that knee. And with the block or not, only with the hand, depends what you have. Start leaning forward with your straight back, again moving that lower back forward as much as we can. Then once we reached our limit, just lower your hands down. So you want to be here, or you can lower down. If you don't have a block, you can be here and it's okay. So only just be aware of the steering action of your hips. You want your back hip to go forward and your front hip to go back. If you have a block, you might go, if you want to go deeper, try placing the block on the opposite side of the foot and finding that twist here, so lifting your right arm up. It's really strong on the legs and the hamstrings, and it really makes you feel that you stretched it afterwards. Come out of this inhale, come up with straight back, bend the front knee, and place your hands down, come into your plank pose, into downward facing dog, and we'll take it to the other side. So move your left foot forward and come up with the 45 degrees on the back leg and straighten the front leg again with the block or not. Find your stance, move your hips, square your hips forward, and then lift your right arm, micro bend the front knee, and start lowering moving your lower back forward, straight spine, and then lowering your hand down again, steering action of your hips. If you have a block, maybe you want to lower both arms over the head. And again, if you want to go deeper and you have a block, maybe you want to place the block to the outside of the foot and open to the twist. Releasing down, inhaling, coming up. Now bend the front knee and come down with your hands, coming into your plank and lower down onto your knees. Now move your feet in front of you. We're just gonna do a few more things seated. So we did the forward fold, so just for comparison, I'm gonna do it again just to see how your hamstrings feel now. So again, little bend in your knee, finding the length in your spine, in your chest. Imagining your spine lengthening up and creating space in the vertebrae, and then moving your belly button and your lower back forward. And see where you are. Maybe you can touch your toes. Maybe even straighten the legs now. And fold forward. Slowly coming out of this. Just one more variation where you place your right foot against your left inner thigh and doing forward fold that way. Again, you can take the flesh out of the sitting bones to really feel those sharp edges. Again, this front leg can be bent if you don't feel your sharp edges. And then moving over your knee, folding forward. Inhaling, lifting up and changing sides. Inhaling, reaching through the crown of the head. Exhaling, falling forward. Inhaling, coming out. This and our final pose, just to balance out a little bit. Simple spinal twist, so you lay on your back, bringing your knees into your chest. Now your hands are in T-shape by your side, and just drop your knees to the right and look over to your left. You can even close your eyes. Just kind of balancing the movement in the spine. We did a lot of forward folds. So we just want to kind of make our spine look, feel a bit nicer. Now press into your elbows, come back to the center, and now bring your both knees to your left, and I'll look over to your right. And come back to center. And start rolling forward and back to come to seated. And that's it, my friends, my yogis. I hope you liked it. This is really, I do feel my hamstrings, and I hope you do too. If you liked it, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel so you get all the next videos and notifications. I hope I'll see you again. From my heart to yours, my friend. Namaste.